Okay, we're recording.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Lorelei. Great to see you. You're looking very good.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Let's start the meeting, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. So, hi, Lorelei, and everybody watching. Welcome back to the 6th week of the spiritual journey, the second year. Let me start by saying Merry Christmas, and I hope you enjoyed my Merry Christmas video, Christmas South Sea style. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. So, can you see me okay on the camera?
Yes. Yes, I see you.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost here because there's got a little problem. I think it's my computer, but it's my laptop. I don't get that I should be getting.
The image is fine here. I hope the other viewers can see you as well.
Yeah.
It's fine as I did. Yeah.
Well, as long as you can see me, then that's okay. And if everybody else can see me, that's a plus. Right. So, just a reminder, it's a full moon today. So, electrical or electro-spiritually, it's a full charge day. Yes. I call it a full charge day. A lot of people get overloaded and go crazy.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're a balanced person, then that will charge you up and you will feel better. But if you're unbalanced, yeah, the full moon will power everything in you that is out of balance. So you might go a little bit crazy. And the full moon is a time known when there are a lot of accidents, a lot of psychiatric cases throughout the world. Yes, it's
Well, I know that the wolves sing to the moon. I mean, that's what we read and that's what we know. I just hope that we don't start doing the same thing as.
Well, yes, it affects them too.
Yeah.
It affects them. It powers in them everything that is, in the same way it powers us. It powers everything in them that's out of balance, or in their case, perhaps everything that's natural. And so they see the moon and they feel the power, and they just want to. You could say, in a way, I suppose, you could say they're saying thank you to the moon, yes, for giving them such power, and they feel powerful, and they're just saying thank you. That's my way of looking at it. That's my new way of looking at it. I've never thought that before. Right. So, can you remember what we looked at last meeting some weeks ago?
We looked at a card, a tarot card, Verso, and yeah.
Okay. Yes. We looked at reincarnation, some beliefs, and an article about the Pentagon in America released a statement, off-world vehicles found. Did you have a chance to look at the article?
Yes, I did. Yes, about the UFOs. Yeah.
So you've got to remember, with all these articles that they put out,
yeah,
how much truth is in them? How much truth is in them? Even if it's the Pentagon, you know, what is the story behind what they're releasing, and what is their intention when they release such a thing? Yeah. So that's another consideration. Now, today we will look at different qualities. Oh, excuse me. As it says in the Bible, Galatians 5.22.
Yes.
Yes. I suppose you know that one off by heart. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. Yeah, so we're talking about the Holy Spirit. Yes. So now, do you think Pilgrim, do you remember Pilgrim from Pilgrim's Progress?
Yes.
Yes. Would have concentrated on these qualities, yes, that we've just mentioned, from love to faithfulness. Do you think he would have concentrated on those qualities rather than on the thought of being a sinner? Yes, the thought of being a real, true human being, warts and all. In other words, being himself and not the label sinner put on him by the church. Yes, because he was in a way, Pilgrim was running away from the church in a way. Yeah. So,
Yes.
so what do you think about that? Do you think?
Well, if you want to speak about Pilgrim itself, I mean, himself, I mean, I think some people actually look for these things. They just mention love and peace and wise and some other answers to their questions. So they decide to do like a journey, for example, to Compostela in Spain, or other journeys, as well, in order to find their, not necessarily their faith, but the things you mentioned and the answer to their questions. So but then yeah, I think he's looking for those things that you mentioned. I think we all do in a certain way. So yeah.
Great. Now, some of the things
Just that sometimes we get lost in our journey and we go on the side because we think that other things might make us achieve these things that you just mentioned. So yeah, but let's hope and let's pray that it's not our case and the case of our loved ones and everyone's case. And yeah.
Well, rather than praying, I'm not a praying person, yes, or sorry, I'm not a praying man. I'm rather a meditating man, yeah, meditative, yes,
Okay.
And I consider myself to be a spiritual man rather than a praying man. Yes.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong in praying for those who wish to pray. Yes. You've got to see the good side of everything in life. Yes. And then find out what's useful. So today we will look at the 7 deadly sins. Okay. So the 7 deadly sins also, now I provide a link. I'll put the link under the YouTube channel, but it'll be for members on the member site, the Universal
Comprehension Academy. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on the Thinkific Universal Comprehension Academy site.
Thank you.
So 7 deadly sins, also called 7 capital sins. Yeah, and this is from Britannica. Yeah, the encyclopedia. Also called 7 capital sins or 7 cardinal sins. In Roman Catholic theology, the 7 vices that spur other sins and further immoral behavior, first enumerated by Pope Gregory I the Great in the 6th century and elaborated in the 13th century by St. Thomas Aquinas. They are, number 1, vainglory or pride. Yes, probably the most difficult to get over. And then number 2, greed or covetousness. Yes, Number 3, lust, or inordinate or illicit sexual desire. Number 4, envy. Number 5, gluttony, which is usually understood to include drunkenness. So number 6, wrath or anger. And 7, sloth. Each of these can be overcome by the 7 corresponding virtues. But I just want to stop there and say each of those 7 deadly sins, you can also look at them in a positive aspect, which everything can be looked at in the positive and the negative. Okay, so the 7 corresponding virtues. Number 1, humility. Yes. Number 2, charity. Number 3, chastity. Number 4, gratitude. Number 5, temperance. Number 6, patience. And number 7, diligence. So, a question for you. Do you think that Mr. Sloth would do groundwork, his own research?
No, I don't know. But how about, I also have a question for you. How about we add a number 8 and we put jealousy there? Because I think this is also one thing that we should look at. Don't you think so?
Yes, I
Because it's also like, well, it's not necessarily related to anger. Anger might come once you're jealous, like, you know,
yeah.
you're jealous because your neighbor has I don't know, a beautiful car or something like that.
Or jealousy. Number
Yeah.
4 is envy. So
So yeah, it's in the envy. I agree. Yeah, you're right.
It's in the envy
yes.
category. Yes.
Right.
So now, once again, we're talking about groundwork. Yes. How about Mr. Pride? Do you think he would do groundwork?
No, I don't think so. Definitely, he's too proud.
Okay. And how about Mr. Diligence?
I don't know. If he's not proud, maybe. Because he'll
okay, well, normally somebody who's diligent would actually, do everything that's necessary because of diligence.
Yeah.
And I put it like this: if you want to, well, let me talk about something I've done. If you want to run a marathon, yes, you have to practice. Yes, you have to do the groundwork of running a marathon. Yes, you have to know everything about it, about this marathon you're going to do. You have to prepare yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, have your objectives, have the mental capacity to go ahead for it before you do it. Yes.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've only ever done 2 marathons in my life, and both of those were in Paris. Yes, or rather around Paris. Yes. Have you ever heard of the Sunday Marathon?
No, there were so many marathons this year because everyone was running for a good cause. So whenever there was a good cause, people would just subscribe and run for that cause. So as there were so many causes like disease and stuff like that, everyone was like running. So no, I never heard of that. Sorry, I didn't.
Right. Well, okay. Now, I didn't run the marathon, you'd be surprised to know, but I did it twice. I did it in the day and at night time.
Oh,
And
nighttime. I didn't know that there was a nighttime marathon.
and I also did it in fancy dress.
Oh, in a fancy dress.
But like I said, I didn't run.
Well, you must have courage to
Yeah,
wear dress.
I didn't run. I did it on rollerblades.
Oh, that's cool. I think because you go faster. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's a lot easier on rollerblades.
The rollerblades and yeah.
Yeah, if you know the technique, it just slides. Yeah, but the only problem was going around Paris, around the outskirts of Paris, was the cobblestones. Yeah, it was really, really difficult on with rollerblades. Yes, but I was quite lucky. I didn't fall over. Yes, but I was protected. Yes, not only by my fancy dress outfit.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and don't forget this was this was a good 20 years ago or something like that, a long time. Yeah, I'll have to think about that exactly when. Yes,
Was it in 2000? Was it before in the 90s?
it was around the 2000s. Yeah,
Okay.
it was around that. Yeah, it was. I think it was after 2001. Yeah, because I decided. Well, somebody stole my bicycle, and I thought, well, I'm not going to buy another bicycle because they get stolen. So I bought some rollerblades, but I didn't know how to rollerblade. So I had to teach myself how to rollerblade and to rollerblade backwards.
Fast.
Yeah,
Backwards.
backwards. Yes.
That's
I
just
thought,
crazy. All that is crazy. So first of all, you wear a dress. Second, you run in rollerblades and you hardly like you just learn how to how to use them. But
yeah,
it was a miracle because you didn't fall. And then
yeah,
and then the third one is
I did a month of preparation. Yeah, I bought the rollerblades and then did a month of preparation before I went on the marathon in Paris. And I thought, right, this is it. I've done all my groundwork. I'm ready. Now, okay, so I didn't rollerblade before, but I did ice skate when I was very young. I did a bit of ice skating. Yes.
oh, so you knew a little bit different.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty good skier downhill as well.
Oh, okay. Well, it takes a lot of courage to do all that, I think.
Yeah, but to do all of that, to do all of that, I mean, the thing is, groundwork. You need to do the groundwork, and it's the same with the spiritual journey. You need to do the groundwork, otherwise, you'll just miss things. Yes, but as long as you're on the frequency, it will happen. Yes, it will happen. Yes,
I agree.
It's not something that's going to be too difficult, and it's proven by your own successes over the past year, over the past well, nearly 2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
So now we've just talked about Mr. Diligence and Mr. Pride. Now, on the other hand, from an esoteric point of view, the qualities I have concentrated on since my youth are care, patience, humility, understanding, charity, hope, and radiation. Yes. So that is tempered with a Muslim saying that you should be careful with your charity. And if you commit a wrong, you should balance it up by doing a right. Yes. So in other words, if you're a boxer, you can hit them with the right and then hit them with the left. Okay. So the way we look at gaining entrance through the wicket gate, going back to Pilgrim Progress, in esoteric terms, is you can only get through the wicket gate if you are in your real self. In other words, only the true you will get access. Now, like I say, by coming to these meetings, by getting onto the frequency, that naturally puts you in a better position to connect to your real self, which you've already done. Yes. So you will not be allowed in if you are playing a role of life. Yes, a role of life, like a driver or whatever. You might be the president or the mayor or a driver or a garage assistant. Yes,
A policeman.
whatever. Those are just different roles in life. Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about the real you. Now, Mr. Angry doesn't get through that wicket gate.
No.
Well, I mean, anger can be useful, yes, but most people use it wrongly. But you know who will get through, as the Jesus myth suggests. You must be like this child, yes. You know that saying? You must be like this child. One of the things Jesus said. In other words, the real true you, in all humility and comprehension, yes, like
Yes.
the Emperor card suggests. Now, the Emperor card, even though this is a very manly card, is also for ladies, yes, the Emperor card.
Yes. The Emperor
Yes.
card.
And
Yes.
did you ever make your own tarot pack? I suggested that a long time ago. Yes. Well, you can make your own tarot pack just by cutting up a piece of A4 paper. Yes. You cut it into squares like this, and you can make your own tarot pack. And what you can do, like I've done, is you can write on the on one side all the different things, the different attributes that go with that card. So we have, I can put them back to back. The Emperor, number 4. This is number 4 card. It's interesting because I live in flat 4. So okay, so what I need most here is humility, eminence, and continence are his presence and the sense of well-being, his atmosphere. Courage, strength of mind, an awakened and conscious way, greater works of life manifest through the masculine event. Yes. Now, we all have a masculine and feminine part. Yes. So that applies to us all. Yes. And like I say, you can make your own tarot card and prompts. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and this is the Versale tarot pack, and these come from his site. Yes, these attributes.
Thank you for the idea.
Things he's worked out, but you can work them out for yourself quite simply by understanding, looking at the different cards and trying to get on the frequency. Yes, by explaining the card, by getting to the essence of the card. Yes, you can do that yourself. You might not come up with the same words, but you will get there slowly. So, yes. So here we go. Oh. Right. So anyway, I've added a link to the characters of Pilgrim's Progress. So you can work out for yourself who would get through for some groundwork, if you want to do some groundwork. Now, there's a link there, and I'll put it under the YouTube video as well, a link for the characters in the book, Pilgrim's Progress. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so as a man, I wouldn't consider myself a sinner, but someone who is developing. Is that a dog?
No, it's not a dog. It's a ball.
It's a what?
A ball rolling on the floor.
Oh, right.
The
I thought you said a bull. A bull.
thing that is rolling on the floor is something like this. Like it's just rolling on the floor. Yeah.
I thought you said a bull, like in a cow.
Yeah, it's a wheel actually. It's not a ball. I thought it was a ball rolling on the floor, but it's a wheel.
Okay, it's a wheel. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. I just wondered if there might be a dog biting at your ankles. Or
I
something.
don't have a dog yet.
Yes, I know. I know. Well,
I have cats and other animals, lots of birds, but
okay.
not a dog yet.
Okay, so as a man, I wouldn't consider myself a sinner, but someone who is developing in a natural way with the qualities and true self that will allow passage through the wicket gate to the celestial life, which in esoteric terms is the conscious life of the brain, with the centers in balance. The centers we have talked of, can you remember their names?
The centers.
We talked through these before. Don't worry if you can't. I'll go through them. Yeah. Okay. Now, the sexual center, the emotional center, the instinct center. Yes. Oh, hang on. Where are we? The moving center and the thinking center. In color frequency, can you remember the colors? Well, don't worry. I shall go through the colors.
I believe I do the colors. I believe I do. Yeah.
So, sexual green, emotional yellow, instinct blue, moving red, and thinking white. Okay. Notably, using the laws of creation and natural law, we note that that there are these two possibilities at play. To slip into one or the other is easy from the standpoint of duality, the law of two, good and bad. But the law of three, we can add something that changes the picture and direction, that of adding a purpose to your life, which is something Pilgrim did. He wanted to get to the wicket gate and beyond that to a celestial level. So for him and those that are on the spiritual journey, having this purpose in your life changes everything. It gives you direction, it gives you force. I can say this with some authority because at the age of 9, I introduced this purpose into my life, making a statement and a commitment to God that I wanted to see life through the eyes of Jesus and walk in his footsteps. Made sense to me, but I didn't see the world through the eyes of the church or the local priest. Yes, but with that of my higher self, using my own abilities to understand the world around me and my own clairvoyance and divinatory skills, believing God would show me the way. Yes, through the eyes of Jesus. It is only after an accident that at the age of 22, being a man, that the truth was slowly revealed to me that Jesus was the analogy, not someone to be prayed to for forgiveness incessantly, as the church does. My way would correspond to a belief that of to live in pursuit of one's beliefs. Yes. Now, I've played with the idea of being a sinner, and sure, bad deeds or evil deeds can leave their mark. But being in my purpose and having trust at the highest level of myself, my higher self, I am not worried about the church propaganda about us all being sinners. I see that as a tool of control for the church. And of course, there is the biblical verse about the law. And this is one we talked about in school when, well, very, very young. Now, those that are with Christ are not subject to the law. Now, 1 Timothy 1.9, that's interesting because 19 is the sun card. Yes. So 1 Timothy 1.9. We also know that the law is made not for the righteous, but for the lawbreakers and rebels, the ungodly and sinful, the unholy and the irreligious, for those who kill their fathers or mothers, for murderers, yes, etc., etc. Go into that. So there are no sinners on the spiritual journey, those who have a purpose to reach higher levels, even the celestial level. And they certainly don't have to be Christians to do so, because the purpose supersedes the duality of good and evil. All of this and more I've outlined in my spiritual independent doctoral thesis completed in 2010, which you've already read in part. Yes? You remember that?
Yes, I remember. I do. Yeah.
Okay, so now for a Christmas announcement. Okay, Christmas announcement. We've been invited to a Versailles group meeting on the 21st of December. That's just one of many such groups worldwide. There are a lot of groups doing this sort of work. I'm just waiting. Well, I just had the confirmation. Yeah, everything's okay. And so I'll be sending you a link.
Thank you.
So it would be a good idea to think about your own spiritual journey before the meeting and come prepared with a question you'd like answered.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Yeah, you may get a chance to ask any question. Yeah, so it always helps to be prepared. The meeting will be over 2 hours long, so have a nice cup of tea beforehand, and perhaps a good idea to prepare a flask of tea with spiritual essence. Yes, do you ever use spiritual essence in your tea?
I don't know. I'll try to grab some herbs from my garden. Maybe this will help and make my own tea. I don't know.
Well, spiritual. The way we term spiritual essence might be a splash of brandy, for instance. Yes.
Oh, then
Maybe
I'll have
tea or coffee.
Again, oil brandy with that.
Okay, so remember the group should be about 30 to 60 people strong. Yes.
Okay, so
well,
it's gonna be amazing.
It might just turn out that only 5 people turn up because everybody's on holiday. But then again, it might be 100 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all with their own unique, real self abilities, and divinatory skills. Just like you have discovered you have, they are people who can see things electro-spiritually, yes, as we do, as you do. And as a group can see about 70% or more of what is needed on one spiritual journey. So when we get together as a group, yeah, you're at 70% of what you need, at least. Yeah, maybe 110%. So it's the best time of the year, the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. a finale of a year of good struggles, and it's on the winter solstice. Yes, a time when one can truly be oneself if one is able. So enjoy the meeting and be yourself. And remember, Christmas is coming. Yes.
To everyone.
So bye for this week. Now there.
Bye everyone.
Okay.
Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful holidays, everyone. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Capricorns.
Okay. Now there is a 2-week holiday. It's half semester. So hopefully see you for the second half of the first semester, which starts on the 2nd of January this year. And it's also a new moon. But don't go, don't go away. We'll have a little chat, loads of news, off air. Okay? So,
bye everyone.
Bye,
and
bye,
happy New Year, because I don't think
everybody have a great Christmas. Yes. Oh, and I almost forgot. This is where we are at the moment. We're on Quality Street. Yes.
Full of candies, everyone. Okay. And don't forget, we have this book called The Olympic Fever, who's being translated in many languages and presented in a library in your city, I believe. I don't know what library it was.
Yes, but my book should be released.
You are in Portsmouth, right?
Yeah, but my book should be released worldwide. That there's a press release set up for the 21st of December. Everything going well. So yeah, that's another issue. That's something I recommend for everybody on the spiritual journey to get that book. Yeah,
it's a great book. Yes.
That's full of wonderful things. Yes. Now, so I've got to get back here. I'll say goodbye, but don't go away.
Bye, everyone.
And Merry
Christmas. Wonderful holidays.
Happy New Year. Happy
New Year.
2022 when it comes. Okay. So with that, we will now sign off, and we'll just have a little chat off there. So let me see. Oh. Once again, I'll find this difficult to get out of because everything.
I think